Hello everyone, this is Baby Trader, and I created this video about a systematic approach to trading stocks, may it be swing trading, day trading, or position trading. I realize most new traders that come to the market don't have a process, including myself when I started a few years ago. So I started putting this video together about things I wish someone told me when I started. Pause this video at any time to take notes and save important information. First things first, disclaimer, please read through. Introduction. In 2012, I started working as a healthcare provider for six figures. I liked my patients and the care aspect of my job, but deep down, I always wanted to be a part of something bigger. So in 2016, after being employed as a healthcare provider for about 4 years, I started looking for ways to invest and stumbled upon Forex. Within a year, I drew down to 50% from initial equity of 120,000 to 60,000. That was close to a 1 year after tax salary, lost shit ton of money, and my biggest lesson in risk management. It created a mental block to investing for about a year. In the same year, I wrote CFA level 1 and CMT level 1 while working 7 days a week for 8 months, not a single day off. I used to work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then close the business and study at the room in the back till 10 o'clock in the night so I don't get tired from the commute. I didn't want to settle for mediocrity, and I thought CFA, CMT could be my way out to something bigger. That led me to join one of the known day trading chat rooms in 2018. I went full-time the same year since everyone is making millions and I am too in the same year. After watching thousands of videos, I was still not going anywhere in terms of finding a defined edge. 2019. Traveling was another big dream of mine that I always had, and I wanted to travel the world. Thought I could travel and trade at the same time, like those amazing photos we see online. So in 2019, my wife and I traveled across the world, starting in Asia, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. Did I make money traveling and trading at the same time? No. It's almost impossible to do that when you're traveling through numerous time zones, internet issues, jet lag, etc. After traveling across 25 countries, we came back home on January 1st, 2020, right before the COVID-19 crisis hit. 2020 was a wake-up year. It tested me since I knew it was time to go deep on this journey I committed to a few years ago. I had a baby in September 2020, hence the name Baby Trader. This was a tough year since I wasn't sleeping well due to my little one waking up at night, and I was still trying to perform as a trader in the morning. Got humbled again at the end of the year in terms of drawdown of about 16% of the account, 3% of my actual account since I wasn't risking my full size. I hated it all. How stupid am I that everyone is making money and I am not? Mind you, I was short biased, so a melt-up market like end of 2020 and not being mentally there can destroy you. 2021 and the path forward. 2021 has been all about process and getting 1% better every day. I promise you that after this, it's strictly about process, and if you're a beginner or an advanced trader, this will provide you with some value if you stick through it till the end. Let's dive in. Setup. Questions to ask yourself when you define your setups. What does your setup mean if you were to apply rules of physics to it? For long setups, imagine a sailboat with wind in a specific direction. Clearly defined visual pattern, for example, a breakout, momentum with a fundamental angle to it, earnings momentum, sector momentum, market cycle, etc. Short setups. Gravity's real sooner or later. What goes up too fast has to come down. Time frame selection. Where's the big money made from the price movements on the chart? Find that fit since it's a personal thing, but you can always evolve later with it when you keep seeing patterns repeat itself. A monthly time frame is always more powerful than a weekly one. Weekly is always more powerful than a daily one, and so on till the minute time frame. Higher time frame provide more powerful pattern, but less signals than a smaller time frame. So you have to find that balance between time frames and signals to find that personal fit. Account building requires more signals, better setups, and time frame is usually shorter to compound your gains faster. All the patterns that we watch fractal in nature. They repeat from the biggest time frame, which is monthly, to the smallest time frame, which is a minute. And watching how price move through different time frames is important. Once you find a setup of your choice, backtest the same while overlaying them with technical indicators. Be creative here, but in general, remember why they work. Since people tend to use them and even algos are designed by humans, make sure you're not using something obsolete and see where entries and exit will fit in the picture here. Example, what happens to price on a short setup when price touches VWAP plus 1 standard deviation band on an intraday chart? In the end, your setup should have a systematic entry exit criteria with your indicators aligned to those key points of entry and exits. This takes away guessing if entry and exit has triggered or not. Only discretion at this point is either you take that setup or you don't. That brings us to backtesting. There's multiple ways to do it, mostly automated and manual. Automated. If you come from a programming background, there are many articles out there. You can pull up specific data points from IB, Tingo, MarketStack, IEX data using their APIs with Python or JavaScript, and then work with the data that you collected. One other point here regarding Spiky is automated, but it's with restrictions from use of the data, like you can't copy the data out of it. Manual approach. This could be saving scans in a CSV format using a charting platform of your choice like Thinkorswim and going through them manually and pulling up the intraday data using an on-demand feature. I prefer this manual approach since it builds chart memory that is critical in understanding a particular setup, and then that rewards me by sticking to plan once a trade is live. The other option is using Platinum version in TC2000 and doing a date sort on the SPY or the triple Q data chart. Moving your cursor back and forth on the chart changes the date, and that changes your scans. That is the historic data of what ran on that specific day. Risk-reward relationship and win rate. Risk-reward is an essential part of your system that went through the setup and backtesting phase. If you have already moved through those phases, you have 3 important parameters of your system: risk, reward, and win rate. Punch them in a calculator like riskalpha.net and take time to understand this calculator and watch this video on the page to learn more about how this works. It is important to be in unison with your risk reward and win rate parameters at this point to execute with the best precision. Position size and risk per trade are the other key parameters that you need to take into account to make sure you live to fight another day. Start with 0.25% of your account as a risk per trade and then increase to your comfort. Back it up with simulation if you're going to be more aggressive and more than 2% per trade. Markets offer asymmetric opportunities. Just in case you learned a strategy, that doesn't mean the market cycle will allow it to work as you backtested it. This comes from experience and screen time. Compounding. Power of compounding is not just the capital that compounds over 10 to 12 years. Skills compound as well. Initial focus should always be building a scalable system with a 10+ year outlook minimum. The following sample in the calculator is just a hypothetical sample, and the one on the right is from an amazing trader, Christian Kulamagi. Please go through it. That brings us to execution. Execution is the process of entering and exiting a trade with defined risk profile. I have a very long-term approach to trading and absolutely fell in love with Dash Trader platform once I started using it. If you are a professional, you gotta pay for the right tools since you're essentially scaling up and you don't want to be dealing with subpar platforms when your size is tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of shares at a time. Dash Traders allows creating buttons of your choice and bind them for a very specific action. This is what a sample button I use looks like. The use case of the above buttons is endless, may it be using to stop out, take profit, panic, etc. This was a result of 1% better everyday mentality. If you're listening to this, Brian, hope this brings a smile on your face. How many of you have read the Dash Trader manual or manual of your trading platform in an effort to improve your execution? If you haven't done so already, you should. This is how you find those small little improvements day in and day out. All professional platforms have things like this that can make your execution razor sharp. Remember, we don't want to be mediocre. If you're a short bias trader, max stop with your broker is a must. I see way too many traders on Twitter with shitty risk reward trading crazy size and then patting their backs on it. One black swan ticker can end you. This came from losing 60,000. I know how it feels, even though that wasn't on one trade. Point being, this is a war, and you need to protect your capital to fight this. Stops. If you're new and trading small size, less than 1,000 shares, please use market stops so you don't have unforeseen freeze issues that can lead to big losses. Limit stops should only be used by experienced traders. Market stops don't usually work in pre-market and after hours with stocks, so you need specific alarms using a tool like TradingView to make sure you're getting out at those defined levels if you swing short or long trades. My daily process and routine. This is just a simple 1% better everyday mentality to achieve incremental progress. This is a sample for you, but most elite traders I know do have a similar process and routine. So come up with your own and let the magic happen. Psychology and attitude. Style drift. Style drift when your strategy doesn't work is a beginner's way to dig deeper on those losses and should be completely avoided. That being said, robustness of your strategy should be tested constantly to make sure drawdowns are within reason and your equity curve is showing an uptrend. Not respecting your entry point and exit targets, may it be stop or target, is another problem with newer traders. This puts your risk-reward parameters out of whack, and then you may wonder why your results are not close to the results in your simulation. Treat this like a profession and invest in the absolute best if you can afford. This includes mentorship, trading computer and trading softwares, software that can make your daily process easier like screenshots, macro recording softwares, etc. Be respectful to other traders out there. Don't ask any questions that you can find correct answers using Google. Respect an elite trader's time and yours too. Put in the work. Screen time and putting in hours. Screen time gives you insight in how stocks move across different time frames. For example, what effect does news have on the price of the stocks on an intraday level, daily time frame, and an even longer time frame? Watching the market and stocks in your selected universe from open to close gives you a chart memory that is unparalleled to any video or lesson out there. This is where the 2 or 3 year time frame in becoming successful comes in. 10,000 random hours won't make you a world-class athlete. Deliberate practice of your craft is the key to success. After you put in all the necessary hours, you will get to a point where you would want to bring balance in your life, if you haven't thought about it already. Trading can be a journey towards a black hole as far as balance in your life goes. It steals time from your life that won't ever come back. Sorry for being so dark. It takes so much effort to get to an elite level that it becomes hard to disconnect and do other things in life, such as taking your partner out for dinner, taking a midday stroll, soak in some sun, and spend time with your kids, travel, laugh. Money is a great resource, but a certain number, and after that, it's not going to change a damn thing in your life. Be careful what you chase and evaluate often, since you only got one chance to live. All these links would be posted in the YouTube description below. Please make sure you watch them all if you haven't already. They are a must to get 100% out of this presentation. This is my trading setup and my specs. Please go through it. You can snapshot it if you want. Save it. This is all the software and the subscriptions that I have. Special thanks. Special thanks to my wife and my son who give me a purpose in my life. My wife who has supported me all these years without a doubt. Amazing since I questioned my abilities a lot more than she did. My parents who raised me to this level and always supporting me in my crazy dreams. I love you guys so much. My trading buddy. Some of my favorite traders that have been life-changing in my journey so far. Brian Lee, one of the nicest guys on Twitter, absolute killer trader. Love his growth mindset and time-saving outlook on repeatable tasks. His talk the other day about providing value is what got me to make this video. Christian Kulamaki, market wizard level instruction for free. Absolutely wicked trader. Team 3D Stocks, Greg Shabika, Fred Safor, Oliver Kell, and all market wizards. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it provided some value into your journey to this amazing endeavor. See you at the top.